Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. I'm Director of Product Development Will Schick. I'm so happy you could join myself and my special guest today, Dallas Kemp, as we continue our May-long challenge for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We're doing a roster challenge. What that means, if you haven't watched the last couple of episodes where we started at the beginning of May, is that Dallas and I picked 5 characters from Marvel Crisis Protocol that we wanted to create a roster around. And then we turned to you, the community, to help pick the remaining 4 characters, and then there'll be a secret special 10th character that will appear when we start playing games with these rosters in June. So we'll be talking a lot about the rosters and the selections that we've had so far. One of the really exciting things, if you're joining us today, is that today is a decision day. That's right. We have picked 7 characters so far between the 5 that we chose and the 2 that the chat chose. Over the last couple of weeks, we now need our 8th character, so we need to know what we're adding to our rosters. So we're going to be talking a lot about what our rosters are, how they're looking so far, what we're excited to paint, the backgrounds behind our rosters, because I've created a kind of a narrative for mine. I know Dallas has for his. And now we need your help, your decision-making skills to decide what the 8th character joining our teams is going to be. So let me get this camera off of me, get it onto everything else, and say hello to Dallas. Dallas, how are you doing, kind sir? How are you doing?
You did the intro, so I started painting.
I know, you're just cheating. Anything to get ahead, isn't it? Anything to get ahead.
I mean, yeah.
So rude. All right, well, I'm Rock.
In the immortal words of Tom Savini, the more you do, the more you get.
Oh, see, there you go. Well, to be fair, I took some of your advice, and I absolutely did a little pre-work on my Medusa. So I'm hoping to get through Medusa and Rocket for the most part today on stream so that we can get going. I'm excited to see what happens with the new character picks that are going to be today. Who are we going to wind up with? What's the community going to choose? We've been talking a lot about kind of our approach to these different forces and stuff like that, how we're doing the rosters. So I'm very interested and intrigued to see where we're going next.
Yeah, I started building my first community picks today.
Yeah.
So I can start painting those as we move along. So excited to see what gets picked for me, but I'm super excited to see what gets picked for you because you still don't have a leader.
I still don't. I am currently completely affiliationless. Which I'm okay with at this point. Like, I chose my initial 5 were Medusa, Enchantress, Venom, Gamora, and who was the other one that was initial? Enchantress, Gamora, and Taskmaster. And then I got Rocket and Punisher from the first votes. So I went in being like, well, I'm not picking any kind of like strong affiliation. I'm just choosing characters that I'm really excited to paint and ones that I like to play on the table, and I'll see what the community does. The community did not disappoint. They were just like, you know what, here's some more random grist for the mill. So I went in and I took the challenge. I did a bunch of conversion work. I put Punisher in Star-Lord's trench coat. I gave my Taskmaster rocket boots because as I was putting together the team and thinking about it, my backstory is that Earth's been destroyed in this version of the Marvel Universe. Earth got destroyed in some cosmic battle, and the characters that are left have kind of joined Gamora and Rocket on the Milano, and they're just tooling around the cosmos looking for revenge. You know, they're here to avenge the ones they lost on Earth. Most of the heroes from Earth are gone, so maybe there is no leader, or maybe, as fate will have it, one of the leaders will show up. You know, maybe they got shunted through a cosmic portal or something, and they'll appear a little later on in our storyline. But for right now, it's just a whole mess of like really rough characters, you know, between all of these kind of anti-heroes, and they're looking for vengeance in the cosmos, and that's where we're at with this story. So who knows? Maybe I'll get a character that costs more than 4 threat. Maybe I won't get a leader. I don't know anymore. I'm just here for the ride, and we're gonna make that story work, and we're gonna have some fun with it.
The first trade paperback name is Vengeance in the Cosmos.
Oh yeah, there you go. I like it. That's where we're at. So who knows? There were a couple of names that were thrown out initially when the voting was happening that I was kind of intrigued by. So Black Dwarf was a strong contender originally as one of the characters to be added to the roster. I was excited by that. I kind of like the idea of having the big old chunky black dwarf in the list, but I'm also not sure how I would fit that into the narrative yet.
I mean, he definitely fills that role of like, he fills that role of like the big guy on
Yeah,
the
he's a
team.
he's a beefcake. Him and Venom can kind of like get in arguments over who's the tougher one, I guess. Well, the Punisher just kind of rolls his eyes and continues to wear all of Peter Quill's clothes. Star-Lord, I mean, we're right there on Guardians. We're right on the cusp of Guardians, so maybe Star-Lord winds up getting picked and we find out that Peter Quill did survive the Earth cataclysm.
Man, I think there should be a hard vote against Star-Lord for that.
Oh, is that what's happening? I feel like you just really want me to be affiliation list. Like, this all seems like very much collusion. Because your first two picks from the community were Doctor Strange and She-Hulk. Like, what is that? What is that?
What? I don't know.
How many bot accounts did you get to put into the chat to make sure that you locked in two of those huge hitting leaders, sir? Sir?
I'm just saying from a story perspective.
Oh, yeah.
It's way cooler with Star-Lord out of the picture.
Is that how it is? Well, maybe it's not Star-Lord. Maybe it's, maybe somebody disguised as Star-Lord, but we can just play him as Star-Lord,
If you get Star-Lord, you have to give him a head swap at the minimum.
At the minimum, that's the rule? How could you tell he wears a mask, You're not going to know.
Plus, I just love that you gave Frank Castle Star-Lord's coat. Like, it just feels good. It's like Frank Castle is Star-Lord.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe he is the Star-Lord. He gets voted in. We'll use him as the Star-Lord. We'll do something else. We'll have a different Punisher. There's been a lot of Punishers over the years. We can come up with a different look for Punisher. I don't know. What I do know is that, right now we're going leaderless, and I'm kind of okay with that if that's the way it turns out, but we got a long ways to go. And don't let Dallas influence your decisions here, chat. You do what you want, what you feel is best. We got a ton of great characters to choose from here.
Like, who else would you like to paint? Who was on your list? That's a good question I'm curious. Who was on your list when we were picking our first 5?
Oh.
Who was on your list that didn't make it?
Who didn't make it? Loki was definitely on there. I just adore that character, and I think the sculpt for him is just awesome. So he was definitely on the short list. I went against it at the end because I was just like, I've painted 2 Lokis now, so I'll kind of start something different. Who else was on the list? There were a number of characters. I feel pretty good. Ronan is definitely one that I love. I love that character. I love the sculpt. I would paint all the Ronins, so I would not be hurt if Ronan showed up. I think narratively he fits really well too, which could be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a good fit.
I actually considered Hela for a little while, and then decided to go with Enchantress instead. But I think Hela could be pretty cool. So there's definitely characters that I was like, oh, these would be really fun to paint, but I chose the ones that won out in the end, and I'm really happy with my core 5. Like I said, the whole community vote has been really fun because it definitely changed my approach to how I was doing these characters, and it certainly is going to affect how I base them. Because right now these are all just temporary bases that I have them mounted on, but I'm going to be doing a whole crazy unique base scheme, kind of like you did with yours, except you started off that way. I didn't, because I didn't really know. I needed to know what was going to unify them all together, and I didn't have that figured out quite by the time that I was done. So
yeah, I kind of got my story pretty much lined out before I even built the first miniature. And so then I was able to flush the story out kind of as me and you kind of went along, painting on stream.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if we avoid any overlap, it's going to be, oh, look, this is where some of the heroes, quote unquote, of the world went. They got corrupted by whatever evil thing happened, and now they need to be taken down by this new Guardians Avengers team. The Revengers of the Galaxy, as I believe we termed them last time on stream.
I'm seeing some Thor talk on chat for you.
Thor could be interesting. We'd have to do some kind of conversion work on Thor, though. I don't think the noble prince of Asgard fits for this whole thing. So I'd really have to get creative on how we make Thor kind of
Mm-hmm.
work in this story that we're telling with this roster. But no one's gonna complain about Thor, you know. He's a monster of a character. Super great.
And I need somebody.
You do? Well, you got to talk about who do you have so far?
So far, my picks were Ghost Spider, Ghost Rider, Crystal, Captain Marvel, and Ultron. And then I got Doctor Strange and She-Hulk picked for me by the community. So, and I'm kind of going with like the idea like, so you're doing the good guys, like you're the leftovers.
The leftovers, you know, the not the heroes that you wanted, but the heroes that you got, basically, is kind of the theme here.
It's you know, it's what you got from Fiverr. And then so I'm like playing like the whole like Desolators, right? Like the whole, you know, the cosmic destroyers. I don't know why we're the bad guys or what we've done yet, or what power is behind us, but we're definitely evil. And like some of the ones that was on my short list that didn't make the cut. I also had Loki on mine. I kept looking at some of the other core characters, you know, Spider-Man, and just because it'd be like I just enjoy painting them, right? Because I picked this stuff like you, right? I just picked the stuff that I was just like, I really like painting this miniature. So let's paint it again.
Yeah, it's always for me. It's like the combination of who do I like to play on the tabletop, like what play styles do I enjoy, and then who do I really get into painting? Like, where's the story? To be honest, you know, I'm not a huge, like, I like Punisher just fine. I think he's an interesting character, but he's like he's not in my top reads list. And so when Punisher got picked, I was kind of like, okay, I've painted 2 castles before. You know, this is fine. I like him on the tabletop. I think he does really fun things. I love blowing up terrain, you know, on people, and that's really cool. But it wasn't until I started, like, I got the idea to be like, okay, what if I combine him with a Star-Lord and really, like, went crazy on the conversion? And I've talked about it a lot, but here it is, right? And, like, this totally sells me on Punisher now. Like, I'm so excited to paint this guy and put him on the tabletop just because, like, I got to do something really unique with the character that's like, it oozes Frank Castle. He's got all the guns, he's got the cloak, like billowing in the breeze, but like it was ready to go. So this really tied everything together, and like I just played with that, and I went off that. You know, I changed Enchantress's special FX from the smoke to Storm's lightning effect. So now she's feels more revengey, if you know, she's got lightning crackling all around her and she's just in a rage. And it's just been like taking that and kind of running with it, you know, and then giving.
Yeah, I like that you're doing conversions. Like,
yeah,
it's a nice addition to this challenge.
It's certainly not something that I do all the time. In fact, doing conversions is usually the last thing that I think about because I'm not very good at it. Like that Frank Castle is probably the most green stuffing work that I've done in years, because I don't like working with putty all that much, which means that I'm not very good at it because I don't practice it. It's like that evil cycle. So finding something that made me really excited to do it and be like, okay, I'm going to sit down for a Sunday afternoon and I'm just going to figure it out. it was great. You know, I learned some tricks, I tried some new techniques, and now I would feel more comfortable doing more of it in the future. And so that's exciting, you know, and it's fun to be able to pull everything together in this cool roster challenge, where you don't quite have all the control over your own destiny, and so you're just kind of like, okay, well, how do we make this interesting and fun and work? And I know we've been telling people out there, if you want to paint your own roster of 10, no matter how you do it over the month of May, or you just paint along with us, we of course have hashtag painting protocol, which is happening right now, like it does every month. So that's a great way to kind of just enjoy the hobby with us and show off what you're doing and all that cool stuff. But this has been a really unique thing. Plus I get to do this like crazy kind of unique, well, not unique, but this crazy costuming everyone together. And we were talking before stream some of the artistic challenges that come with that, because it's like, okay, so I'm using the very classic Guardians suit colors, which is navy blue and like this really deep kind of wine red, which apparently I was looking at, I haven't been keeping up on my Guardians comics, but I just noticed going through like different images, the team is back into now in the new run of Guardians. They've returned to these original colors, so that's kind of neat. But it was like,
that's cool,
looking at all these different characters and their very unique costumes and going, okay, how do I apply these things to, you know, to these characters that are kind of designed in their classic costume styles. And Venom's the only one that still has me kind of stumped. I don't know how to like do Venom in the costume colors and still make him feel like Venom. It's like Medusa, I kept the hair the same, you know. Taskmaster and Gamora I did some unique takes on, but it's fun. It's a fun thing to kind of like think about and look at and be like, okay, how do I balance these two colors?
There's let me ask if anti-venom would be a cool conversion for your Venom, and I think it'd be possible, but we want to stick to characters that are we want to stick to things that are released. We want to represent the characters.
We could certainly do like, yeah, anti-venom's probably like different enough. Cause like I thought about doing the Venom and trying to convert him like the Flash Thompson when he was Agent Venom, but also Venom Space Knight, because he kind of went back to his big, like his bigger, bulkier Venom form, but he had the cool face mask thing and stuff. And I was like, the problem is that I'm still using, you know, I want to stay true to the characters, so I want my Venom to still be like Eddie Brock. Like the question is what if Eddie Brock as Venom wound up in this situation? What would that look like and how would that be? And, you know, I think it's totally cool if you want to convert an anti-Venom or whatever and use them as your Venom in games, you know, as your Eddie Brock.
I was just pointing out to the chat for your story, in my story, we're trying to keep like, these are these characters in this new situation.
Yeah, like, you know, your corrupted Carol Danvers that you finished painting on stream yesterday.
Corrupted Carol.
She got a firmware virus, and now, you know, she's all evil. She went all evil. That's what happens when you don't update your antivirus software in your brain.
Yeah, you get the evil
as a
binaries.
Superhero. They're saying hella for you on stream. I think that makes a lot of sense, you know. I could see an Ultron and Hela mastermind team up where they create some kind of weird magic nanite virus to take over everybody's brains and make them evil.
Hell nanites.
Yeah, hell nanites. That's exactly it. I like the idea that you don't get any 2-pointers in your list, though. It's all like you have Gwen.
It's just bombs.
It's just all 4 and 5 and 6ers. Like, it's just all the big boys, which is what you love to play anyway. So you wouldn't even be sad about it. But just give you all the heavy lifters. Yeah, the current discussion that we were having before on Venom was to just use the blue as like his basic symbiote color, and then use the red and like the eyes for the pads on the back of his hands and just freehand those in, and then maybe make the logo in the red. And I think that could work. I just don't know if that feels like, does it still feel like Venom but in a team suit, or is it like too much? And I can't quite decide. Maybe I'm being too precious about it. I don't know.
Photoshop it.
Photoshop. I know people. I don't know that I could do it, but I know people who could. I don't have one of them fancy drawy pads. I gave mine to Josh.
Since I'll take a picture of Venom and I'll put him in my fancy dry pad.
Who, I'll be honest, ever since I gave Josh that dry pad, has never been very grateful. He only continues to yell at me about things. He's a very mean man. Oh yeah, Evil Angela. Let's just give him the real big guns here. Do I want these like little knee pads to be red? I think I do. Do the little scrunchy pads here as red. I think those will all be blocked out. But yeah, so today, by the end of this stream, chat, your votes will be tallied and somebody will be picked for our squads.
Vote it up!
And then the next one will happen on Instagram, and I'm sure BK, who's in there right now, will tell people how it's going on. Oh yeah, speaking of Carnage, I actually spent, what was it, Friday morning, and before work, and I finished mine up. I'll cheat. So I started this guy on stream, but now he's done. Look at him. Look at how cool he is, that Carnage.
Cheated.
So this was a really fun one to do on stream. Maybe not that fun to watch because it's like, here's how you do red. Now spend all your time on these black lines. But man, he looks so sick when he's done. All right. I need Daredevil. Daredevil feels like Daredevil and Spider-Man both feel like they have too many they're too morality. Their morality is too high for this team. But maybe that's just the thing, you know. They're always like trying to rein people back in, and Venom's like, just eat them. And Gamora, who's not very nice, is just, you know, also threatening to murder people and such. Like, who knows, you know. But yeah, I definitely could see the good writing, the good narratives that would happen if you had like a Spider-Man or a Daredevil on the team, trying to be like, we're still heroes, guys, and they're like, meh. Are we though?
They're the clerics.
Are we though?
They're your paladin.
Yeah. They're the ones trying to get you to do good, even though you never will. Lockjaw? Oh, doing a corrupted Lockjaw could be pretty cool, actually. You do a sinister Lockjaw. You'd have to take the goodest of boys and make him look, you know, snarly and mean.
Make the baddest of boys.
Yeah. And then, of course, once we get all of our picks figured out, that's when we get the fun job of, you know, going in and determining what we want to do for team tactic cards. We got to pick our crises. I'm really glad that we didn't wind up having to figure all that stuff out first, because that'd have been a little tough.
Would have been too much for me.
Highlighting this blue.
You got your Carnage done. I almost got my Amazing Spider-Man done.
Oh yeah? What about that Craven you were working on? Did you finish that one?
No, he's still behind too.
Oh, is he? You gotta start waking up earlier. The mystery characters, chat, for the folks who are asking, those will only be revealed, I think, at the very end. So
I think during the game.
Oh, is it during the game? Is it that much at the end?
I think that's my understanding.
I like it. So there you go. When we put the rosters on the table and see how they play out over the course of, you know, the games in June, That's apparently when you'll find out who the mystery selection was. The secret sauce, as we were. Highlighting this blue is so fun. There you go. BK has spoken. They'll be revealed at game time. What time is it? Game time. It's very exciting to be able to say that game time is a thing that is now going to become a more regular occurrence. Thank you, vaccines.
Got mine.
Did. I think now pretty much everyone in the studio has had the opportunity to knock one in. I hope that everyone in chat who's had the opportunity has, been given it, because it'd be good to get back to playing games more in person and being safe while doing so.
There's a vote for Team Schick, Green Goblin.
Green Goblin? Oh my gosh. He might be a little too evil. Although he hit, Norman Osborn, he has those stints. It could be more of like a Dark Avengers Iron Patriot, Norman Osborn. He's a little more under control, but then he gets all messed up and he gets super evil. I could see that. I love Green Goblin, and I've only ever painted one of him, so I would not be opposed. We give him a space glider. Oh, I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
I feel like it has like some sort of one of those electric crackle balls you buy at those stores.
Oh yeah.
Just that's on the bottom of it. That's what makes it glowing.
I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can make that. I'm not entirely sure that that's gonna work. So Osborn can lead the Revengers? Ooh, I don't know if Osborn's Revenger of the Galaxy leader material. Things go pretty poorly when that man is put in charge.
I gotta vote for Cyclops.
Oh, you get Scott Summers? I mean, he's always one step with some family trauma away from turning evil, so it kind of makes sense.
And why not have 3 leaders?
Why not? Just give him all the leaders at this point. Just more than he can use. I think there's more than 10 anyway, so, what are you going to do? I could certainly see like a Kingpin, a Wilson Fisk going into space. He's pragmatic.
Oh, yeah.
He's pragmatic enough, He'd be like, I'm going to start my cosmic enterprise.
Like, while we're up here, we're going to mine this asteroid.
That's right. He'd be wheeling and dealing, always being like too shady for the team, but you need a good financier when you're doing these kinds of things. So he could be an interesting one for sure. That's why Taskmaster's around. I just kind of assume Taskmaster, being the consummate mercenary, is just like hanging out. World gets blown up, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'll come."
He saw an opportunity.
He did. He was like, an opportunity not to get stuck on a blowing up planet. Like, done. He's kind of Rocket-ish in that way, though. I think Rocket would also appreciate a Wilson Fisk mentality, because he wants to get paid. He's kind of about that mercenary life.
Oh yeah, that's.
See, I like this.
I totally
like this
agree.
plan. Dallas gets all the leaders, but no overlap, and I get no leaders at all, and we're both just randomly forced to play zero affiliation. I don't know how fun that. It could work. I've certainly played several rosters before that were zero affiliated, and I think it works fine. The flexibility that you can have with your character options and stuff can often offset, lacking the universal leadership ability. I'm not going to claim that it's the best way to play, but it is definitely not the worst way to play.
You see the rocket. Why are we doing this again? Fisk, for the money. Rocket. Right. Lock and load.
Lock and load. I believe that his comic book term is gassed. Or it was at one point. He'd be like, gassed you, as he like shot fools. Blew them up with his plasma rifle. I don't know if he says that anymore, but that was a big thing for a little while. Ooh, I'm gonna thin this out a little bit. It's a little thick.
Oh, so much fun painting half the side of a miniature.
It's true. Your approach definitely makes it go twice as fast. Since you kind of
Cheated?
you know, you got artistically creative. Let's call it that.
I'm just gonna throw some highlights on this side now. Some of the magenta side, just to pop those forms.
This Medusa has so much hair. I forgot how tricky she was to do on stream because it's like, I'm painting stuff, but all you see is red hair. Yeah, who knows? Maybe the super secret special pick BK might let us use somebody who's like not released yet. Wouldn't that be interesting? He won't, but you know, you never know. He took too many lessons from Josh and being a cruel taskmaster.
I like that you like gave him hope.
I did. Look,
And
I gave myself hope for, 2 whole seconds before I was like, oh no, that's not going to happen. But maybe.
Look, I know exactly who I'd put on my team if I could just pick whoever.
Oh, do you? Who?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Well, I mean, they're unreleased. I can't, because we're talking about unreleased
Oh,
stuff.
well, I didn't mean that far unreleased. Like, they still have to have a miniature that's, in plastic, Dallas.
No, there's a miniature.
I don't know about this.
5 seconds and you'll know. Like, think about for 5
Oh, I know exactly who I would put on your team. I don't know if it's the one you're thinking of, but I know my pick
Oh, rude.
for your secret one that would totally tie everything together in a phenomenal way. And I'm going to guess that I know you well enough that we've picked the same one.
Oh, I know.
I know.
I know.
But yeah, that's probably well outside the whole, even unreleased stuff.
Oh, yeah. BK's crushing it. He's there right now going, stop it.
Dallas is making forbidden picks.
It's what I do.
That's true. You'll get used to it, BK. I've worked with him long enough. I just accept it now. He told me no today in a meeting. It was very rude.
I didn't say
You
no.
You did.
That's no.
That's exactly what happened. I was like, I think we should make this change. And you were like, this is the third time we've looked at it. These kinds of changes should come at the start. This is the problem. And you guilted me into being like, fine, it's fine. Don't change it.
I still put in the note, just so you know.
Yeah, and you said ignore this note. I know how it works.
No, I did not, actually. I put in the note.
Well, you shouldn't do it. You were right.
I just had to throw a fit.
That's true. That is part of the fun. Throw the fit, make the change. Look, I just thought it was worth exploring, that's all.
I'm not saying it's not.
I just thought it was
Done! No, I got to paint his glowy eyes. He definitely needs glowy.
He does. How are you going to know that he's an evil robot without the glowy eyes? So who's next after Ultron then? Since you're just blazing through painting half these minis on stream.
I have Crystal and Ghost Rider sitting here on deck, ready to go.
Ooh.
So we can pick just one of them.
Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man could be good. Scott Lang just running around. Change of sizes. He's got that. He's slightly moralistically gray, so he'd probably go along with it.
So that's like the second time Ant-Man's been brought up for your squad, because we talked about it as like he's sort of although he's moralistically gray, he's kind of the heart. Right?
Is he the heart? He's very much the comedic relief.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I mean. He's like still jovial. He's having fun. He's making jokes, but he'll still rob something.
He'll definitely rob things.
Rocket and Fisk is definitely on board for that.
Oh, 100%. I like the idea of Ant-Man because then you know that, Ant-Man is making Tiny Rocket so that they can sneak into some bank together. And imagine an ant-sized rocket raccoon. That's just adorable.
With that gun?
Yeah, you gotta have the gun. The gun's important.
He's just like... He's ant-sized.
He's ant-sized. It's fine. Alright, I believe my blues are done. On to the reds.
Should I switch to Ghost Rider or Crystal?
I think it's up to you. What do you feel brave for? You probably should do Crystal because we did not scale the camera for Ghost Rider. Oh, look at that Spider-Man. Look at him.
I need to work on him. Yeah, I don't have the camera scaled for Ghost Rider, so we're going to switch to Crystal. I don't think Gucci. Sorry, I don't think Ghost Rider will fit. Like we have to set the cameras at the beginning. I don't think he'll fit on the camera.
I was not informed that there might be a Ghost Rider happening today, so
I didn't think about the Ghost Rider.
Highlighting up this little red. And these knee pads and the gloves will be great.
Maybe we should add Ghost Rider to Schick's roster.
Oh, there's 2 Ghost Riders? My goodness. I don't know. I don't know if the story can handle 2 Ghost Riders. I would totally paint up a Ghost Rider, though. I love that character. It's a flaming skeleton on a motorcycle. What's not to love?
Exactly.
He's got it all. That's like putting a taco on your bacon cheeseburger. Delicious. Belt.
I'm excited to see who you get.
I think we all are.
They need to vote. Vote now.
Vote now or forever hold your peace. And then you can run to Instagram and do that vote next. Woo! So many decisions being made.
Get them votes in because I need to know who to build.
It's true. A little heads up is always good. We got a couple weeks left though. We got this. It's all good.
Oh, you just got to vote for Thanos.
Oh my goodness.
And this is
Plot twist.
bull.
Plot twist.
Bull.
Big Papa Thanos was upset that somebody else blew up the Earth and not him. So currently, chat, my roster consists of Rocket, Medusa, Punisher, Venom, Enchantress, Taskmaster. I think that's all 7. Did I get all 7? I think I got all 7.
Sounds right.
Should just keep them all in front of me.
And mine is Ghost Spider, Ghost Rider, Captain Marvel, Crystal, Ultron, She-Hulk, and Doctor Strange.
Why nobody has Lockjaw yet, chat? Nobody. Agent Hydra.
I think that vote should just stick. You just shit gets Bob Agent
Oh
Hydra.
my goodness.
Done.
Yeah, let's make it weird / spicy.
Make it spicy, Bob.
Spicy in space, even. Kaboom!
Dude, Thanos just pulled ahead for you, and I'm calling shenanigans.
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 Look, the people want to see a Thanos conversion. I don't know what that looks like yet,
Yeah.
but I'll figure it out.
What does it even mean?
What does it mean? We'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll do something dope.
I'm the bad guy. I get Thanos. What? No, this is.
We're turning it all on its head now. This is a different universe. The rules don't apply here.
The writers of the story have no idea what's going on.
No. This has been handed through like 4 different creative teams, each of them not liking the last creative team. It's all over the place. And then he shows up. I mean, Thanos has certainly been on the side of good, quotation marks, a few times. You know?
Yeah.
He's worked with other heroes from time to time. He's put in his dues. He helped defeat the Annihilation Wave at one point. And what did he get for his troubles? Left in the Cancerverse. How rude.
That's all right. I think Lockjaw pulled ahead for me, so.
I'm excited to see the evilest of boys. Plus, that combination of all the heavy hitters plus Lockjaw is slightly terrifying.
Just gonna port this punch to your face.
It's true. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's very uncool.
Mr. Gavenport says, I don't care who gets Lockjaw as long as they're on the table. Plot twist, Lockjaw is both team captains.
Oh my goodness. Team Lockjaw for the extra win. What is even happening?
Oh, you gotta vote for Hulk. That's nice.
No, Hulk could be pretty cool. I'm down with the Hulk. Thanos and Star-Lord neck and neck. Frank Castle stole Star-Lord's clothes. I don't know if he makes sense story-wise here, chat. Look,
I'm gonna say I really don't think you should take Star-Lord just from a story perspective.
I know. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. Thanos, on the other hand, I mean, it's so weird that it feels right. It feels right. I think we know what we have to do, chat. I
don't do this very often, but I'm hoping you get Thanos.
Oh my gosh! Even Dallas is on Team Thanos here.
I mean, it's a cooler story, and that's what's right. It's just a cooler story. Like, why is Thanos working with the anti-heroes or the Revengers of the Galaxy, whatever you call them? I need to read how this plays out.
Everybody's got their questions. Nobody's quite sure what's happening. I mean, there's definitely a sudden and inevitable betrayal. It's very clear. Thanos manages to get, he gets all of his Infinity Gems, and then we start the next story arc is them having to undo what they helped Thanos create. That's more than likely how this works out.
Yeah, I love it.
Just layer in these last red highlights, give it a little pop.
Little zazz, little zing.
Little zing. I mean, I'm working with really dark colors, so that contrast is just so critical to make everything look nice and poppy. And we'll do our space metal that we've been doing on everything, and I'll switch back over.
Yeah, I don't think you get Infinity Stones,
No,
though.
it's bare-fisted Thanos. Bare-fisted Thanos. But we'll come up with a cool, we got to space convert him. We got to do some stuff.
Thanos with bare fists?
Yeah.
Ma?
Yeah. Grizzly fists. That's what we'll do.
So, Crystal's got this little fire elemental. I should change the color of that. What color should it be? Maybe black. Maybe it's like Black Shadow because she's evil.
It's inverted fire.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because she's evil.
It's funny, I totally didn't paint Crystal or Medusa's face, but the way the airbrushing reds went over the Zenith Prime, it looks like she's got skin tone already on her. I might just leave it that way.
I mean, sometimes that Zenith just does something for you, right?
I think it just saved me from having to do I'm doing a base coat here, which is great.
Yeah.
So we just have to do a highlight.
Evil.
How rude. Evil Crystal and her evil colors. That's how it works. There's a little nosy here. I think the nose.
Well, I don't know if that black fire is going to stand out in this paint scheme, actually. I don't think this is going to work.
Back to green fire.
Yeah, maybe classic green, but then she's got the magenta glow. Oh boy, this is complex. I got to think about light.
Pull out that color wheel, Dallas. Pull it out.
Let me think about light.
You got no choice.
Give me a minute. We're just gonna come back to that in a little bit. we're gonna come back to that.
Are you doing her sans water effect?
No, I got the water effect pulled off for painting purposes.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely much easier to paint with the water effect pulled off. But I do have a pretty fun way I'm going to paint it. I'm going to do the underside of it with the magenta environmental light.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top, you're going to see just hints of the magenta coming through it to show the translucency.
Nice.
So I got a pretty good idea on how to do that, but now I didn't think about the fire effect. So it really needs to be something. Maybe black will work. I don't know. I'm really...
You got some time. We're back at this on Thursday. There's no need to finish all your characters this week, you monster.
Look.
You gotta let us mere mortals keep pace here, sir. Sir.
I like getting them done.
That is why your favorite color is finished.
I'm so far behind on everything. Oh, I'm so far behind.
There's just so many cool things to paint. I mean, this month is pure proof of it. We're doing the roster challenge here. This whole month has been devoted to like different army building, roster challenge, painting, cool stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow.
We will be.
For more.
All right. Well, there. I think that crystal or that Medusa. I keep saying crystal because you're painting crystal. I got a couple of things to touch up on her, but that's basically done. So I'll have to do that off camera. Bam! There's a Medusa ready to rock and roll. Here, how does she compare next to our Taskmaster? Team colors. Woo!
Yeah, that looks good. That's looking good.
All right, let's get on to this rocket. Rocket! I'm going to just try doing the fur. Spider-Verse? Excuse me, chat. My colors are 100% classic Guardians. They do have a bit of a Spider-Verse look to them, though. That's fair. I can't argue with that. Let's see if this.
10 minutes, get in your votes.
Oh my gosh, we're only less than that. We have like 8 minutes left.
I'm rooting for you to get.
I'm
Thanos.
thinking about. I'm really thinking about this Thanos implication here. Like, what does that mean? How are we going to convert him to be like super sweet and fit in with the team? And I think it's going to take some thought, but I'm excited. I'm excited by this opportunity to do a crazy Thanos. I can see it in my mind. In my mind.
I love seeing alternate Thanoses. They're like that sculpt is just such a strong sculpt, and like you can do so much with it. So seeing what you can come up with would be really neat. And I just love the story of it. So, and I always vote story.
Whatever makes it the most fun. That's really the only way to win at playing a game is, you know, find the thing you love most about it, especially a miniatures game. Whether it's the story, the combo building, all that stuff, and then go and have an amazing time with your friends on the tabletop. Creating all those cool memories and stuff. It's the way to do it.
So we live here at Atomic Mass Games.
It's true. I will never claim to be the most competent player, but I will always strive to be the most fun player that you ever game against.
Oh, I'm terrible at the game. Doesn't matter.
I think that's going to be a good initial layer for our rocket here. A couple more washes. What else do we want to do? Let's take this color and layer in some gun colors. I think I used this same metallic on my first rocket's blaster. Something very similar to it anyway. Put that in. 5 minutes left. It's the final countdown.
Oh.
I know. I did when I was building the Frank Castle Star-Lord conversion. I did really want to find a way to have him having Rocket's gun, but there was just like no way to have him hold it in a normal fashion because this gun cannot be held by mortal hands. It must be cradled like a giant plasma baby because it's so amazing. All right, Senior Rocket. It looks like you're gonna make it to the next paint session here. Of course, Rocket would be cradling it. He loves his weapons. He loves his blaster. It's even the quote on the back of his packaging. Do whatever you want, but don't touch his blaster. That's why he and Frank would get along so well. You don't touch Frank's guns or Rocket's guns. Alright, I feel like I probably need to stop because we're at that point where the time is out. And it's time to shift on and move on. Did Dallas freeze? He might have. Oh, did we lose Dallas at the very end? Looks like we might have. Well, that's okay, because we're going to do this anyway. All right, chat. Well, it looks like I lost my friend Dallas, but it's okay, because it was like right at the end anyway. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a blast. We're really looking forward to continuing this May roster challenge. We'll be back on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific in order to continue our painting journey, along with our new pick, which was determined through this chat, which BK is tallying right now. So if you have any more votes that you want to put in, please do so very quickly, because you only have until I end this stream to do so. Thank you so much for joining us again. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We're looking forward to hanging out this week with you. We, of course, have streams every day this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific. So join us back here. It'll be Dallas and myself again tomorrow doing a joint stream as we continue our other May monthly challenge. And then, of course, we'll be back with more MCP goodness on Thursday at 1 p.m. as well. And then John Schaefer and Michael Plummer will be on at 1 p.m. Pacific this Friday as we continue the other Army Painting Challenge for Star Wars Legion. Until then, take care, be good to each other, and we will see you on the next one. Goodbye.